One of the most terrifying things in the world for a human being are bears hunting, especially when their victims are innocent people in some areas. So we've selected 15 merciless moments of bears hunting. Number 15. Bear versus cows and bulls bears. Both black and grizzly are known to prey on cattle of all ages as well as swine and sheep. Due to their size, grizzlies may feed on larger animals such as adult cows. In our first video, this black bear is interested in getting to know this bull. The two smell one another through this fence. I'm not sure if the bear wants to be friends or if it just wants to have lunch. It tries grabbing the bull through the fence several times and is seen at the end of the video climbing the fence. Next, a fairly large bear is trying to bring down this cow. But the cow is extremely strong and keeps walking all the way out to the street with the bear on its back. I don't know if the bear ends up making the kill, but if it does, it couldn't have been easy. Finally, this bear is drinking water, and I don't think it's aware that some sort of bison is standing right next to it. The bear keeps drinking. That is until the bison slams its horns into the bear, and the bear looks at it and takes off. Number 14. Bear versus born pig. Bears will hunt wild boar, but the animal is not the first item on the bear's menu. This bear is trying to get something done with this wild hog, but it's having a hard time pulling it away. The boar is strong and is pulling its own weight. The advantage the bear has is strong jaws and paws. In our next clip, this bear is sharing a watering hole with a huge wild hog. The bear makes a move, but the hog runs off only to return and drink moments later. In this night vision clip, a huge bear snatches a young hog and the hunt is over in seconds unless the bear wants to play with the baby hog. Next, this black bear is wrestling with wild boar, and the people filming the incident hunts to try and scare the bear away. But I think the bear is so focused on the boar it doesn't even hear the horn. As the bear continues to pound the boar, this young bear chases two black boars across the forest. I don't think the bear will catch up to them, but you never know. Finally, watch this bear try to kidnap a pig from its pen. The other pigs are ignoring the matter even though they hear their friends squealing like a mother-brother. The bear is pulling on the pig's back, ripping some of its skin off. But the pig is so heavy the bear isn't able to lift it up and brings it over the fence. I wonder why the people filming don't intervene, because this isn't happening in the wild. This bear is attacking a farm and its pigs. Number 13. Bear vs. deer. Bears will hunt deer, and there are plenty of deer where bears live, so it's not difficult for bears to find them. Just like the bears in this video. It catches up to the steer, flips it over. And that's the end of that. The deer tries to escape, but the bear keeps it firmly on the ground as one of her cubs approaches. In the background, another bear kills a smaller deer this time and transports it somewhere more discreet so it can enjoy its meal. The black bear devours a dead deer on the field located next to a road. In the next video, you'll realize how fast bears are. Deer run fast, but watch this huge bear chase his deer and catch up to it. This bear is massive and is running as fast as the deer, if not faster. People always told me that bears are the most difficult animals to run away from. They run and swim faster than you and I, and they can climb trees better than any human. Number 12. Bear versus elk and caribou. Elks aren't usually bigger than deer, so a bear has to spend more energy hunting elk. But this bear doesn't seem to mind when it attacks a large elk in the middle of a river. Being in the water makes it even more difficult for the mighty predator, but it also makes it harder for the elk to escape. The bear seems to have complete control of the situation and finishes and kill in minutes. Now is the hard part, how to get this heavy prey out of the water to consume it. In our next clip, what looks to be a sure kill for the grizzly bear when it sees an injured elk barely able to walk becomes a botch hunt. An elk is able to avoid being drowned by the bear and manages to jump into the water with river's current carrying it away from the bear as the bear gives up the chase anyway. Next, this bear pulls the remains of what seems to be a very large elk. Only the head is left and the bear pulls it out and goes for a run. I don't know why, but perhaps it's some sort of bear ritual. In this next video, this caribou takes it to the bear and charges the bear, stuffing its antlers into the bear's body, pushing the bear into the river. So far, so good. But that's until the bear, with all its might and power, turns the caribou over and finish it off. Finally, a bear causes havoc amongst the elk at Yellowstone Park as it tries to get its paws on whatever it sees, but ends up with nothing as all the elks disperse rapidly. Number 11. Bear versus human. Bears do not usually go looking for trouble, but if they are provoked, they will not back down from a challenge. Not many things will scare bear off, So whoever decides to tangle with one better be ready for little actions. In our first clip, a sweet bear approaches a woman who doesn't seem at all afraid of the bear. The bear even tries to hold the woman's legs and hold her, and the woman just plays along. Next, a large grizzly approaches these two men. One man is holding a lock and the other is holding a can of bear spray just in case the bear decides to attack. Besides standing up for a few seconds, the bear keeps his distance. Next, watch this huge bear chase a man on a bike. You can feel the chase because the cyclist has a camera on his helmet. Eventually, the bear loses track of the cyclist and looks around a little more north, where it snows and it looks like it's freezing. This man feeds a beautiful polar bear. The bear just wants to eat and isn't trying to harm the man. So I still wouldn't feed a polar bear unless it was a small lone cub. If you get my drift. The polar bear even climbs on the boat a few minutes. Bears will chase people even in trees. And that's exactly what the bear in our next clip is doing. The man is high up in a tree, and the bear is slowly climbing up to join him. What happens after that is between the bear and the man. Number 10. Bear versus bear. Bears intimidate their opponents to show their authority. Unless it's absolutely essential, bears do not fight each other. Fighting risks entering the bear, which is not the bear's goal. In our first video, these two massive bears go head-to-head. One bear gets a good strong bite on the other bear's neck, and that could spell trouble. There's a lot of growling and studying going on, but besides a small scuffle, the bears don't seem interested in fighting much. Next, these two male grizzlies fight over a bison carcass, and one bear manages to push the other into the water, away from the carcass. Once that's done, the bear walks back to the dead bison. Finally, these two massive polar bears fight it out in the cold. Watching the largest bears in the world go at it is extremely impressionable. It's easy to tell if the bears are involved in a serious fight, because the minute there is blood, you can see it on the polar bear white fur, just like in this video. Number 9. Wild boar. In this video, we can see a bear catches a wild boar from behind. The boar tried hard to free itself, but the bear held the boar so it can stay behind. The bear slowly started biting the wild boar's back viciously. Gradually, the boar began to get tired and finally sat down and made it easier for the bear to beat it. In the end, the boar gave up and the bear got his lunch. In another video, there are several wild boars running because they are being chased by a bear. The bear managed to catch one of them, the baby wild boar. The baby could only scream for help, but no one dared to help him, including his mother. Number 8. Deer. In this video, there are several deer hanging out on the grassy land. Not long after, a mother bear and her baby were seen walking up to the deer. Seeing the bear coming, the deer immediately ran to save themselves. After the distance was close enough, the mother bear immediately ran very fast. Deer are fast, but bears are not inferior to them either. With a body of that size, this is indeed very amazing. They ran quite a distance until the deer fell because his leg tripped by a rock. At that moment, the bear managed to get the deer, and it's game over for the deer. Number 7. Caribou. In this video, there's a caribou in the middle of a big river. At a very far distance, a grizzly bear noticed the caribou and ran towards it. The grizzly bear knows it from a distance because of its extraordinary sense of smell. The bear continued to run even though the caribou's position was very far away, and the caribou was also not standing still but running away. The bear went into the river and got closer to the caribou. The caribou who saw the bear got panicked and he ran back into the river. But it didn't matter. The bear turned around and went back to chase the caribou. The bear was running even faster because he was very hungry, and they were getting closer and closer. Finally, the grizzly managed to catch the caribou. The bear then brought the caribou ashore and enjoyed his dinner alone. Number 6. Bear. In this video, there are two grizzly bears fighting for dominance in order to mate with the female. These two very large bears use their hands to hug and bite each other. Their fight looks very balanced because the size and weight of the two bears are very similar. Whoever wins this battle will have the right to continue his lineage. In the end, these two predators made a truce and chose to return home. Number 5. Wolf. At Yellowstone National Park, there's a grizzly bear enjoying his lunch. Not long after, several hungry wolves came and wanted to ask for their share. Of course, the grizzly was angry and didn't want to share, so the bear then attacked one of the wolves. As time goes by, more and more wolves come around the bear and want to beat it. Despite being surrounded by more than 10 wolves, the bear wasn't afraid and tried hard to defend his food. The wolves tried to attack from various directions, but it didn't go really well because the wolf also scared with the bear. Yes, even though the wolves won in numbers. But if they got caught by the bear, I'm very sure it can turn into snack of the grizzly. After a while, the wolves began to lose hope, and they went away one by one in search of other food. Number 4. Bear vs. fish. It's fish hunting season for these grizzly bears, and they wait for the salmon to jump out of the water so they can grab it. They watch some of them get away, but it's only a matter of time before they make a catch. Eventually, they must go for it. Regardless of the danger, the numbers are on their side. For every salmon that gets caught, hundreds made it past the bears. This bear makes fishing look easy. He just jumps in there and captures a huge salmon. These black bears spend their day at the river during a beautiful day in the hopes of catching salmon, and they find some huge ones in large quantities. Food is aplenty in the river, and the bears are loving it. This mama grizzly bear is fishing with her cubs, but it's understandable that she's doing most of the fishing, even though the cubs are learning and participating. The fish looks tasty, and the bears are loving it. Number 3. Polar bear vs. beluga. These belugas are extremely thin and horribly scarred, but their wounds were not inflicted by the ice. A whale would be a huge prize for any meat-eating hunter, and these belugas, trapped by the ice, are within reach of polar bears. When aware of danger, the belugas stay submerged if they can, but they can only hold their breath for about 20 minutes. Catching a 4-meter-long whale that weighs 1 ton is no easy task. Even if that whale is weakened by starvation, this polar bear is not getting ready to race in the 100 meters freestyle. He's fishing for beluga whales, and he hits the jackpot when he dives for one. In this video, once the bear is caught, the beluga, there isn't much the friendly whale can do. These bears hunt beluga whales, and such a big meal will fill their tummies for many days to come. Number 2. Bear vs. seal. A polar bear drags a seal out of the water as seen by these fishermen. After that, the bear pounces on the seal and starts eating it. Because everything is white, it's easy to see the seal's blood splash onto the ice banks. For the fishermen who are standing off the big polar bear, it's quite a sight. Polar bears only succeed once in 20 hunts at this time of year. If the hunter is thin like this one is, it might not be enough. All she can do now is try again. She's directly behind the seal now. She miraculously caught the seal underwater. Even though it isn't the largest seal, its blubber alone contains 1,000 calories, enough to keep this bear alive for a week. A polar bear drags a seal from the water and prepares it for dinner. It flattens the seal with its paws and proceeds to open it up in the manner that a chef would. Polar Bear Steakhouse is pleased to welcome you for its grand opening. Here's a polar bear having dinner, and as you can see, things can get a little messy in a polar bear's kitchen. Polar bear's lovely white coat is stained with blood, but I'm sure it will be clean again after a brief shower. Number 1. Bear vs. moose. Bears are extremely powerful and strong animals. They've been known to pry open car doors and bend open windshields in their search for food. Bears frequently roll over big rocks and logs in search of food. When you watch this bear take this massive moose into the forest like it was a small cat. In our first video, you realized just how powerful bears are. Although the moose was already injured, the way the bear carried it was unbelievable. When Mother Moose no longer had the strength to protect her calf, this bear made a kill in the forest. The bear took advantage of the situation and killed the deer. Another example of incredible strength may be seen in this video, in which a bear takes a moose into the forest like it was carrying bread and butter in a small basket. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.